Hi grade 12, so we continue with our pattern. We just want to recap as to where we are and what we still need to do. We are currently at 5.1 and you will see that we have done our layout drawings, and those drawings are looking at 5.1.1, 5.1.2, and we're going to move to 5.1.3. So the layout drawing consists of your floor plan, which we have done already. And we are looking at your final drawing, which is the following, which I'm going to show you. This is the one we are looking at, 5.1.1, which is your final design with everything on there. We still need to create a title bar on the left hand side here, where there is space available. And then we look at 5.1.2, which are two elevations, and it's drawn to the same scale as the floor plan, which is 1:100, even though it states here 1:75, and that is for space allowance on our page. And there you have to show both views, which include the detail of the undercover walkways. And remember, we spoke about the front entrance, which is your primary view of your media center, and an additional view, which is another view showing a side, and we have chosen that, and this is what we are looking at. And you will find that is your northwest elevation, which is your primary view, and your additional view is going to be your southwest elevation, all taken from the direction, and all the necessary items which are required in this elevation. So we're moving on to 5.1.3, which is a detailed section drawn to a scale of 1:20. So the scale now changes to 1:20, where all the dimensions are going to be divided by 20. You have done this previously, so you need to use your calculator, showing the detail from the foundation to the roof. And on a cutting plane that passes through the serving hatch, so they want the cutting plane to go through the serving hatch, and either an internal door, an external door, or a window. So one of these must be added as well. And then the note says that you need to use break lines to divide the detailed sections into two or more parts, each representing a width of plus minus, doesn't have to be exact, 1.5 meters. This particular section is extremely technical, so you have to show two parts where those which have been indicated here need to be represented in your drawing. So the first thing that you actually need to do is to go back to your final design, which is your floor plan, and to place your cutting line through the serving hatch, and you're going to find an additional either door or window, whether it's going to be an internal door or an external door, which can be represented as well. And I'm going to find a specific place which I can present my cutting plane, and so you will have to do the same. Please watch carefully how I do that. So here you have your final design, which is your final floor plan. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is your serving hatch, which is going to be here. So the cutting line has to run through that serving hatch, but it has to include the roof as well. So your roof starts here, and your roof slants from the apex down to this point here, where the water will run into the gutter. So I'm going to suggest that you put a cutting line through there, like that, so that it includes the walkway. And remember, on top of your cutting line, you're going to have these triangular points, and you're going to find that I do my triangular points facing up, which basically means that I'm standing on this side and I'm viewing everything that is here from this side of my cutting line. That is my first section which I'm going to draw in. And now I'm going to find either a door or a window, whether it's an internal door or an external door or a window. And I can find here is the door, and I can move my T-square up, and I can draw a line, a cutting line through that part there, right up until the end of my roof. And again, I'm going to place that cutting arrows on top of my cutting line, which basically means that I'm standing from this side. It doesn't matter whether it is stagnated. On your page which you are going to draw, you are going to connect it, and there will be a break line that will separate the two and connecting the two as well as one unit, but two different parts which we are drawing. Alternatively, if you do not want to use a door, you can choose a window as well. And there are several windows which we can choose. So I can draw a line right through that window and place my two arrowheads on top. So I can decide whether I want to go with this one, that one, or this one. This one is actually compulsory, and these two are optional. So I can label them, this being AA, and that being BB, and that being CC. Now, this is going to be taken out, and it's going to be zoomed in to a scale of 1:20, and next to that, separated by a break line, we're going to have either this or that adjacent to that will show both sides of my roof structure as well as my detail of my door, window and serving hatch. Now, just before I formally start with this drawing, let me give you a freehand sketch just to give you an idea of how the drawing is going to unfold before we formally start drawing it. Now, remember, learners, that you are drawing two different parts. The one part is the section through the hatch, which is going to be on your left hand side, and the other part is going to be a section through either an external door or internal door, or you're going to have a section through a window, and you need to include the walkway as well. So I'm going to draw it against one another, but it will be separated right in the center. So you're going to start with a line here where it's going to be a break line, which is sort of the middle of the two components, and because we are working with limited space, we will have to draw it as if it's one unit. Then of course, you're going to start right at the bottom here by drawing a line, and that line is going to be the bottom of my foundation, my concrete foundation. But for you to be able to know the distances away here, we have to cover at least 1.5 meters. Now, if you look at our floor plan that we have, and we're going to draw the left side first, that is through the hatch. So what we need to do is that we're going to measure literally from here to there what it is. That measurement is going to give us 30, and that 30 we will have to times by 100 to bring it to normal size, because this scale is 1:100, and then divided after that by 20 to scale it down to the detail section. Just keep that in mind. We have to times it by 100 and then divide it by 20 to scale it to this detail size. So if you are going to do that, it is important for you to establish the foundations first. So you're going to have a foundation here from this side, 600 across. Remember how we normally do the foundation, 600 and 200, which is scaled down, 30 and 20. And you're going to have another foundation on this side as well, which will refer to the foundation of this wall that you will see here, whether it's there for the window or whether it's here for the door. So that is the foundation at the bottom. So you're going to draw the foundation against each other. And then you're going to find the middle of that foundation for you to be able to draw the wall. And that wall is going to be, like you've done previously, 10 millimeters, which basically means that it is a scale down from the actual one to a scale of 1:20. So that will be our wall, and we're going to draw it faintly there. And then from this part here, we need to measure where the pole is going to be for our support of the walkway roof. And for that, because you have it here as 30, from the center of the wall, or the side of the wall, from the side of the wall, measure to the end here, which is going to be the pole that supports, and that 30 times 100 is going to give you 3,000 divided by 20, and that is going to give you 150. So you are going to take your ruler from this side here, you're going to measure 150, and the 150 is going to be here. Now remember, that 150, you will have to put a foundation underneath that 150, which is going to be here. The best way to do it is to create your pole size, and your pole size is going to be 5 millimeters. Both sides, that's your pole that supports, like that there. And if that is your pole of 5, and you have your center of your pole, you are going to measure 15 that side and 15 this side to create your space for your concrete foundation. And of course this is in line, which is 200, and scale down 10 millimeters to form your foundation, both sides. So now you've created the foundation, you are going to measure up here 20 millimeters, which is going to be your natural ground level. Inside there, that's your natural ground level. That is underneath. And then you're going to have spaces of 5 and 5, so that we create our compacted hardcore and our concrete that will run right through against that part over there. And you're even going to take it out and line it up like that there. You're going to take it out slightly, and you're going to take it out slightly, and that forms your stoop. Your symbols should obviously be concrete. These are all concrete here with dots and triangles. Concrete runs right through through the wall. That's your concrete. And then that is your compacted hardcore. You're only going to show me a little bit of the symbol of your compacted hardcore. And then here you're going to have your earth, and your earth is going to look like that. And we need to indicate that on the side of the walls for earth. And you only need to show me 3 lines this direction and 3 lines the other direction. Of course, this is going to be concrete as well, which you're going to dot and triangulate. And then now you've created the substructure for the base. Inside these walls, we're going to have the hatch, and we're going to have a window. So I'm going to put that window in. So you're going to measure up here 2 meter 100 divided by 20, and that's going to give you 105. So you're going to measure 105, and you're going to sort of block that off there. Above that, 4 millimeters will be for your lintel, and you're going to divide it into half, and that's going to be concrete as well with a triangle and dots. Your hatch drop, that's going to be rather 50 millimeters up. So you're going to measure 50 millimeters up, and you're going to have a concrete slab there. That's a serving platform. This is going to be an open section here. We are going to have a roll-up door box here where it all rolls up into, and it comes down if you close the roll-up door. And then these of course are going to be colored in later with red. On this side we will have the window. The window you can drop down any length that you prefer. Remember, you're going to create a window sill That's going to be halfway slanted like that there, and there's going to be that right angle section there where the concrete is going to be situated inside here to be able to fix this window outside sill. To that, you're going to have two lines here for your window frame. And should you cut through a door, then you have the option, and I just want to create the option here. It will be the same base here, but you will have the 10mm wall, you will have the concrete lintel on top, but your door will be 3 lines in the middle here to be able to show the door frame. And then just the top part that comes across will be indicated there. Now the wall continues way above this because it's a building, but unfortunately we can't squeeze in our roof if we have those wall extensions. So what we are going to do, we're going to draw the roof here, and we're going to create break lines in between here, which basically means that this is actually higher than what the drawing shows us. So you will see that I will start here with my 30-degree angle of my set square, like this on my T-square. I'm going to bring that down like that, and I'm going to bring the other side down like that. Remember, it's on my T-square, and keep in mind that point is going to the point where you're going to connect that with this side. And then of course you are going to create your truss, which is going to be 6 millimeters above there and 6 millimeters here for your tie beam. Remember, 6 millimeters will be there, and you're going to sort of block this off in line with the end of your stoop area. The same way on that side, the same here, you're going to block that off there. Keep in mind, like we used to do this in our course drawings and our activities, that we have 6 millimeters, which is going to be your truss. You're going to have 6 millimeters on this side of the line and 6 millimeters on that side of the line. That forms a support here. And then halfway here and halfway there you can have another support of 6 millimeters, and you can measure that. So that's another support. And then of course there will be a cross triangulation happening here, where you are going to draw a middle line like that and go 3 and 3, and that is going to form another support here. Draw a line from that corner into this corner, 3 millimeters and 3 millimeters, and that's going to cause that you can have a triangulated support structure here to reinforce the truss that we have. Above that you're going to have your 4 millimeters. Here's your 4 measured away both sides, and then on top of that you're going to have 2, which is going to be your corrugated zinc, your sheeting that you have there. There it's going to come down slightly above. You're going to cut it off there so that the water actually will run into the gutter, which we will have on the side here. Just keep in mind, you can just block that off like that there on top. Then learners, you will have your in-betweeners here, which would be your purlines, and you can place them any distance away, equally apart, with of course the crossings that you will have to indicate the hatching of your wooden purlines. And you can do it exactly as I do it. Remember, this distance here is 3 millimeters, and that up here is 4. You will have, of course, have your fascia board here, which is 1 millimeter by 12, and then your fascia board, and then of course your gutter will be 5 here and 8 millimeters there. Your fascia board 1 and 12, that will fit perfectly in there. And then you will have your gutter that is 5 by 8 here at the bottom. I'm going to darken this line here because that's the bottom of my truss. And the truss is supported on a beam. Now the beam is going to be like that, there, and the beam will be situated on the metal pole here, and the same way here, you're going to have a beam. Now that beam is going to be 2 millimeters by 10 millimeters. So 2 thick and length or height will be 10 millimeters. And that will be supported by this pole that we have there. Now the pole, I'm going to have break lines here, like that, because the pole obviously continues longer. And I'm going to darken that pole like that there. In the same way, on this side, I'm going to have break lines and continue with my pole like that. This means that the pole actually continues. And the same way, we're going to have break lines here for my wall. And that will continue up there, and this will continue right down like that there. And then the break lines will take you right down. The concrete takes preference here, so I'll go around the concrete. That goes up until my... So this is a break section. It means that it's higher than the actual drawing shown on the page. I'm going to create my ceiling, and for that I'm going to drop this by 2 millimeters down and draw a line from there right through till the other side of my beam. I'm going to create my branding, which is another 2 millimeters in width, and I can place them some distance away. And I only need to indicate a few of them, this side and the other side as well. Don't forget to cross them, because that indicates the hatching. So all of these can be put in as well. Under the truss that makes contact with the wall will be our wall plate, which is half of the wall, like that. That's my wall plate on this side here, and my wall plate will be on this side here. So you can create these 6 millimeter wall plate, which is the same size as that there, which is slightly more than half of this thickness of this wall. Learners, here we're going to have a box just above the lintels, and that box will indicate to you the casing for the roll-up door, for the hatch here. All that is left will be our coloring in and our dimensions, which we will show clearly on this drawing, as well as a note box. So here in this space here, I will have roof notes, where I'm going to indicate all the different components and the sizes of the roof wood that we will be using, as well as the roof pitch, which is going to be in this case 30 degrees. Learners, I'm going to process all of this information now and put that into a formal drawing. Please watch very carefully how every component of the detailed section unfolds. you.